This is Lacey Evans, who was known as the Southern Belle of WWE. I loved her gimmick. I love the fact that she was Rita the Riveter in person. And she definitely comes off as a 1950s pinup girl, especially during World War One. I loved everything about her character. I had a lot of fun with it. It reminded me some of the characters that I've seen in the 80s, the gimmick characters that were really fun to watch, as well as putting on great matches. And now that the women's division kind of has an eye on it, at least around the time that she came out, it was a good time for her to be there. She represented, her character really well, and she actually gravitated to it. But yeah, they changed her gimmick and made her more like a Marine, and I kind of missed her Southern Belle gimmick, but this discussion isn't about that. This is about the comments that she made about autism as well as ADD. Now, for someone who has ADHD, I'm not really offended by this. I've heard a lot of odder things, especially coming from the 80s where no one really knew about the learning disability and they just assumed it was a behavioral thing than it was a learning disability, that you had a different way of processing things different than other kids. So I had to deal with the brunt from teachers, from other adults that didn't understand it at the time. Now, I don't really know what era she came from, but maybe her beliefs are a little different when it comes to that. Now, if that's the case, fine. And even with her making her voice known on Twitter, there's been way worse on there, to be honest with you. And I know it sounds like I'm making excuses for her, but I guess for me, after going through people who don't really understand things fully, it doesn't faze me that much. Me personally, it does not. Because when it comes to learning disabilities or mental disorders, it's not anything concrete. It is constantly evolving, constantly changing. We don't really have any type of, anything that says this is caused by this is caused by this is caused by this. We are still learning. Scientists are still learning about the mind every single day, about the brain and how it works every single day, because it's constantly evolving. Now, were her comments, were they hurtful? Maybe to some people. But for me, who had to deal with the 80s where you had no one that really understood what it was, and you had to go through a lot of crap, not just from your peers, but also from your teachers, because they knew very little about it, I have a different perspective. There is so much more going on in the world than having to worry about the opinions of one woman. And no matter how strong her beliefs are, it's her beliefs. Now, the tweet has long been removed, probably because she got a lot of heat for it from the company that she works for. But to be honest with you, for anyone that's outraged by this, I wouldn't be. And that's just how I personally feel. But I know that it might offend some people, especially those that actually do have autism, as well as those that have ADD. But like I said, for someone who has ADHD, who had to live in an era where no one really knew a lot about the learning disability, I guess I have a different view. I guess maybe lens through certain things. Maybe that's how I can say that. But to be honest, you gotta be careful when it comes to you being in the public eye. They're gonna look at everything you do and definitely break it down to the nth degree. But when it comes to Lacey Evans and what she had to say, there's really nothing to back that up. If she had evidence backing that up, then you can stand corrected, but there's nothing backing up anything she says. So you just gotta come correct with the evidence, not any type of propaganda video, but actually some documentation showing that this is what the probability of what this could happen, what this could lead to. Like I think she said, like processed foods leads to autism. Do you have the information backing that up? You got to have information backing that up. You just can't make that claim and think that people are gonna believe you. It's gonna be scrutinized to the nth degree. But like I said, for somebody who has ADHD, anything she says doesn't faze me. Just like how Jenny McCarthy was talking about where autism came from, and her reference was debunked multiple times. So it's not really bothering me any. I'm not really fazed by it, but I am curious to hear what anyone else thinks about this. For those who have autism as well as ADD or even ADHD, does Lacey Evans' comments, does it hurt you? Does it bother you for what she said? For somebody that has it, like I said, it doesn't bother me, but I am curious to hear what everyone else thinks. Leave your opinions in the comments below, and please be nice to each other, especially those who have different beliefs and opinions about it. Be nice to each other. Let me know how you feel, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.